Let's look at common problems of traders. And I'm going to touch on that. One is money management. And we've just had the statement there from Niku that says 95% of people is not making money in Forex and 5% is making money. While we're on that subject, this is one of the things. This was one of my whys. Remember, I started off with a why. I said to myself, listen, I will be one of that 5%. And I can tell you this, I am one of that 5%. The same, you can make that decision and say to yourself, I will be one of that 5% of people that makes money in Forex, if that statistics is correct. And this is what I've decided. Listen, I am going to be part of that 5%, because if that 5% makes the money, I want to also make the money. So this is what I've decided. And money management, this is where it comes in. Now you get this, those guys that I was talking about now that looking for a quick fix or easy money, they got the $97 system, with all respect, and they jumped into the markets and they put their heart and money in there and they thought they're going to make money, and they apply absolutely no money management. And I can use this example the same. Let's go back to a business, a normal business. I mean, if you start and you buy a grocery shop that was doing well now, and I mean, you had to borrow a lot of money from the bank to buy it and, put your house into debt and all that kind of stuff. And now the first month you decided, listen, I mean, I need to buy myself a very expensive German luxury car. I mean, because I'm a businessman, and you start buying that car, and you start buying your wife a car and your daughter a car, and you start looking out for that 3-story house. What do you think is going to happen? That's bad money management. And if you start buying products and your markup is too low or something like that, and it wouldn't cover all your other expenses, what do you think is going to happen? It's the same thing here, money management. Money management, and I'll teach you the money management in this thing. Now, I can guarantee you those 95% of people that Niku was talking about, I can tell you this, that 95%, 100% of them never had money management. They never heard of money management. They were never interested in money management. If they just were prepared to hang in there for a long time and absolutely equip themselves better, then they would have been into the 5% there. The second thing is emotion. I did touch on emotion just a while ago, and the emotions is also part of that. Emotions. You won't believe how your mind can turn against you. Watch out for that. 2 ways. Greed, one thing, and fear. You start losing a trade, and you start losing a next one, and you lose the next one, and the next one you say, no, wait a bit. What if I lose this one? Then fear has got hold of you. Your emotions got you, and your emotions is laughing because they control you now. And the very next trade will be a winner. And you thought, okay, let me take I'm just going to see the next trade. Maybe that one is, let me first check if that one is also a winner. Guess what? The next trade is also a winner. And then you decide now, okay, that is my confirmation. I'll get into the next trade. And guess what? The next one is a loser. What happens then? I mean, you totally, now fear got hold of you. Now you decided, listen, somebody's out there to get me, and I'm going to get my money back. I've just lost $300 now, so I'm going to put all or nothing. I'm going to put in everything now. What happens now? Now greed is taken over. Greed is controlling you, and greed is pushing fear aside and say, let me control this person. And what happens? You just blow your account. Emotions is so important in this. You must learn, and this is what I'll teach you, is how to handle your emotions, how to go with your emotions, and learn to accept losing trades. Learn to accept and look past losing trades. Learn to look at it as if it was salaries that you pay or rent that you pay, and because that's the stuff that we don't have as professional traders. Remember that. So you need to have some expenses. And I'll teach you how to look at that and how to train your mind to start, not reacting in a negative way to losing trades and things like that. And again, to just keep your greed in control and say, listen, I've made enough money for the day. I'm closing off my screens now. I'm not going to sit in front of you, because this is the one thing that I've fled from, is the 9 to 5. Now I want to do this stuff. I'm going to do the stuff out there that I enjoy. And this is why I said, I'll teach you about emotions, and you must be able to get hold of your emotions. Now, I can tell you this might not look like much, but this first 2 points already, money management, if you decide, listen, this is the minimum that I go and willing to risk on a trade, and you start practicing proper money management, which I will show you how to do, and you can get control of your emotions. I mean, this alone, what I'm telling you here, is worth thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Now, some of you out there might think, oh, yeah, well, up until now, I didn't get anything, but I can tell you this is very important, because if they say, well, I didn't get anything yet, the point is, I cannot just go out there and show you, listen, this is how I trade. Then, it's like I'll be leading you straight down on the way to the Grand Canyon, so that we all fall in there. The only difference, I will stop before you all fall in there. The point is, I don't want that. I don't want that. There's a lot of things attached to Forex, more than just a chart and putting a trade in, sell or buy. And these things is the actual things that is making the money. That's the actual things that brings the money into it. So, the other thing, not knowing when to trade and when not to trade, this is all stuff that I also tell you. You will see it in the market. You'll see what we call the sound in the markets. If the sound in the market is not right, it's too noisy, just stay out of it. I mean, if you see, well, if the market is back to smooth again, good time to trade. Absolutely good time to trade. Go for it, because you can see the things is moving, upwards and downwards. It's not the spiky things that gives you some spikes up and down. And I don't know if you ever seen this thing they call a polygraph, which a polygraph machine they put on people to, if they want to find out if they're lying or not. So they put it on there, and I don't know how it works, but it picks up something about your sweat glands. But I'm sure there's people out there that will exactly know how it works. But then they've got this graph there, and this thing that goes, wild. If you lie, this thing goes wild, and it draws all sorts of lines, sideways. And if you tell the truth, it's, slowly. It's not moving a lot from side to side. So that's how I see it. If the market is lying to me, I stay out of the market. And if the market is telling the truth, I'll be in the market. But I can also show you this. That's no problem. I hope I pronounce it right, is Guus van Gutem. He said, I was late in the webinar, will there be a recording? Yes, there will be definitely a recording. So you can just go to my blog or my website or on Facebook and just ask them, we'll set you up with something there and tell you what to do. Then, another common problem of traders, self-control, discipline. Discipline and self-control. Because sometimes you would like to sit, because again, I could have just as well put this underneath or under the myths, is that people thinking the more you sit in front of your computer, the more money you make. That's a myth. It's absolutely not so. So people is thinking that the more I stare at my computer, the more trades I take, the more money I'm going to make. No. I'm sorry to say it's not true. There is no such thing. Because it's the amount of profitable trades that you make that is bringing in the money, not the amount of trades that you make. The amount of profitable trades comparing to the amount of trades that you don't make a profit on. That is where the edge is. Now, can you see just this one little point here? Maybe this was your aha moment here, and saying, oh, but that makes sense. I never thought of it. Well, I can tell you this. You cannot sit in front of your computer and thinking the more I get into the market, the more money I'm going to make. You must learn yourself to control yourself and say, listen, I know a very good trader now that's saying, listen, if I make 20 pips on the day, I switch my computer off and I go. I know another guy, he says, well, if I make my 20% per month, then that's it. If it's the 20th of the month, and he switches off his computer, he's finished trading for the month. And you would say, but is he crazy? I mean, he must read his mind. No, that is self-control. That's discipline. That's saying, listen, my goal is 20% per month, and I made 20% per month, and I'm happy with it. So I'm going to use this other 2 weeks to go down to the beach or go wherever I want to go and things like that. And this is how it is, you know. But yes, it's not so that the more trades you make, the more money you make. You need to control yourself and say, listen, if I say I'm running on a system that say every hour I'll have to spend 10 minutes in front of my computer, that's it. And if I've got a trade in, let's look at this example, a trade in on the 4 hour, for instance. And then every 4 hour you need to go and watch the trade. Don't go there every 10 minutes and go and have a look at the trade, and every 10. I can tell you before the first hour is over, you would have already taken that trade out because of fear. You will only wait for that next 4 hours. So yes, 20%, Mick is asking me, 20% a month for a starter. Well, a starter is also another thing. The point is, I can tell you this, if you run your system, you believe in your system, and you do what I teach you to do, then I can tell you that 20% per month is achievable. It could be achievable, but it all depends on a lot of other factors around you. Okay, so overtrading, and maybe this could have just as well linked up with number 4 there. People are sitting there and they just trade and trade and trade and trade. Even if the rules of the system say, listen, no, there's not enough confirmation, stay out of the trade, they will go for it. And usually that's the people that maybe also like gambling. You know, it's that gambling thing in yourself that you'll have to kill and say, listen, I'm not a gambler here. I am a professional trader, and I'm working. I've got everything on my side because I've got a good system. I've got good money management. I've got my emotions in control, and I know what to do. So yes, overtrading is one of the common problems of traders.